global warming, extinction of species, and possible nuclear winter. Oh, bonjour. I Yeah, I had sworn that I would not read any news headlines anymore because again they're just too depressing and just no use. But still, I have to point out just a few. Firstly, this is from the Daily Mail, and I hope that I too have alluded to this because this is of course in a way going on, and it has been going on in a way for a very long time. Poland holds ceremony to welcome 4,000 US troops, largest deployment to Europe in decades. All right, let's recap. Russia is led by maniacs. Poland is led by complete maniacs. And the US is led by swamp creatures beyond incredible maniacs. Like always, I'm starting to feel that I cannot help to get egg on my face for saying that we can't have World War III this year. As I hope I've pointed out before, I absolutely loathe Vladimir Putin and his cronies. But I hope I've always also said that I liked Boris Yeltsin before he drank himself into oblivion. I liked Boris Yeltsin very much. And I truly do adore Mikhail Gorbachev as many other people do in the world. And again, the Gorbachev idea of Europe as a as totally demilitarized place, trying to work together, it was a very good one. And it's a completely different thing what Putin and his cronies have done to Russia and to Russian people, and it's pretty much it's their problem. But as far as taking Crimea, which was directly linked to helping the insurgency in eastern Ukraine, if you study the matter, I mean, they had absolutely no other choice. It was a defensive, unspeakable, but a defensive move from the Russians, and the original blame goes to NATO and of course the United States as the biggest mover of in militarism. This is absolutely terrifying. And then the next the other news that one has to quote. Let's take the headline from Reuters. The world's 8 richest, as wealthy as half of humanity, Oxfam tells Davos. The headline in The Guardian was, world's 8 richest people have same wealth as poorest 50%. And I'll continue from The Guardian. A new report by Oxfam warns of the growing and dangerous concentration of wealth. The world's 8 richest billionaires control the same wealth between them as the poorest half of the globe's population, according to a charity warning of an even increasing and dangerous concentration of wealth. In a report published to coincide with the start of the week-long World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, Oxfam said it was beyond grotesque. I mean, words are not enough to describe. There are no words to describe this. Beyond grotesque, I guess, is as good as any. That a handful of rich men headed by the Microsoft founder Bill Gates are worth $426 billion, which is 350 billion pounds, English pounds, equivalent to the wealth of 3.6 billion people. I don't know, perhaps I shouldn't have said it because this is simply unspeakable is the word. And again, Bill Gates, United Station. Probably many others of them, United Stations. And then again, I mean, as I've said, if it's silly. They all the time now, they have this rhetoric where they refer to the President of the United States as the most powerful man on earth. And again, I guess I've said, if you want to find the most powerful man on earth, it's somebody like Rupert Murdoch. Or somebody like that. And if I understand, Murdoch is Australian originally, but I guess he's a US citizen now. So, to the Chelsea Manning country. Because I have to make a few little comments. About the legacy of dear Barrage, which has been now in the headlines. I do have to say that it doesn't matter. Well, firstly, of course, they usually, things like, legalizing torture and surveillance state and all these sort of things, war crimes, and usually these things don't count, and having a total homicidal maniac lunatic liar as your successor, being one of the chief architects of the disastrous situation, usually these things don't count as legacy, which may be good. But anyway, one has to say that the legacy, in a traditional sense that United Stations are always interested in, when it comes to dear Barrage, it really doesn't matter. Because if mankind, by some incredible miracle that I really can't see, were to survive, for the next decade or something, in about 10 years, dear Barack Obama, like any other wealthy, powerful person in the world, would suddenly start to grow a bit younger and younger and younger. And, if mankind were to survive, which it isn't, it doesn't matter what his legacy possibly might be, because dear Barrage is going to be here until the end of time, telling everybody what his legacy is or was. Yeah, not only that, Bill Clinton is going to be here until the end of time, dicking bimbos, and if the bimbos survive his dicking until the end of time, they can have their pussies grabbed by old Donny with his tiny hands. Sunday, Monday, happy days. Well, anyway. Now to the unbelievable thing that is Obama's successor. And of course, since it's pretty much, the fault of the American voter, I don't know, to say I'm sorry seems, in a way, a silly thing. But again, every time it's going to be absolutely terrifying for the United States people. And one has to say, I'm so sorry. I say it again, I'm so sorry for all that you're about to receive. But now taking these two, again, my rant about partisanship is that again, that after all is the biggest, problem as far as democracy and other stuff is. It's actually the biggest problem in the United States, or the thing that creates most problems. Again, and now since the silly form of healthcare, whatever small healthcare they have, is going to be totally destroyed by deranged lunatics like Paul Ryan. One hears the United States say that the rest of the people from the civilized world, they cannot really understand how our healthcare can be so crappy. And here, from the civilized world, as a sane person, I can concur that. No, I really, it is impossible. But most things about the United States are impossible to understand how they can be so crappy. In the same way, one has to say that this partisanship, that, you have other people in the race except Hillary and old tiny hands, and you can vote for somebody else. And there is more in the world than just Republicans and Democrats. The fact that, that people cannot understand this and they vote for the lesser evil like, deranged robots. It is, from the outside, from the point of view of general sanity, it is impossible to understand. And I don't know, one learns more as one reads and listens and watches, and what, the maneuverings were, machination were pretty much so that, firstly, TV, general media, lying was made, was legalized, or, not saying that you're news, but not really telling news, okay? And then a big part of it went to work on the weakest link, which was the Republican voter, and it turned actually pretty fast, turned Republicans into drooling racist idiots who vote against theirs and everybody else's interests. And then their craziness and utter hatred of Democrats in a very quick period of time turned the Democrats, of course, if somebody continuously hates and insults you, eventually you're going to start, being annoyed by those people. So it didn't take long to make the Democrats hate the Republicans. And now, truly, in the United States, is the main problem, even though there are rust belts where certain votes are swinging, the main problem still is that, that people just hate the other side so much that it doesn't matter if we're all going to be destroyed, which we are, as long as those lose. It's total and utter insanity, beyond insanity. Now, my question, of course, is, can that be again replicated in the rest of the world? Between whatever, conservatives and liberals, right and left, whoever, brown and white, I don't know. Can this same trick, again, find the weakest link, make total drooling perverts out of them, and, they ignore the other side to hate them as well, and you have two sides, and they fight against each other and hate each other, and they don't hate those 8 people who they should hate, and divide and rule those 8 people and a bit more. They can keep on stealing from the rest of mankind until we all are destroyed, and we very soon we will be. Don't know.